Hello, listeners. Thank you for tuning in to our episode of Ask Jihan podcast, the podcast where we explore the inspiring stories of individuals who have embarked on the exciting adventure of learning English as a second language. And today, we have Basma with us, who's going to tell us about her journey of learning English. Hello, Basma.
Hi, Jan. Thank you for having me.
You're most welcome. Would you please introduce yourself?
I'm from Syria, from Aleppo. I work in the communications industry of humanitarian issues. I advocate for humanitarian needs across the world, particularly in Africa. I have an English literature degree, in addition to a master's degree in the same major. I also have a master's in the global diplomacy in the Middle East and North Africa.
Perfect. What university?
I studied in University of Aleppo and enrolled in an online program with the South University of London.
Impressive. Okay, Basma. So can you walk us through your personal voyage to mastering English? At what age did you set sail on the sea of English language learning?
It started when I was very young, I think 7-year-old or something. I visited...
You were really young.
I think 7, just presuming. I was visiting a bookshop with my family and I was impressed by the English section.
Wow.
The colors, the text, and the book cover.
Like love from the first time.
Yes, and I went through the book, of course, not knowing a single word, but I knew for sure that one day I would be able to read these bulky books from cover to cover.
Right. So, speaking of words, so which was the first English word that ignited your linguistic passion? The very first one.
I think that's a very interesting question. But with someone with a fish memory like myself, I'm not sure. But I might talk about my favorite word.
Which is?
I usually love the hopeful and achievement word.
Like?
I usually prefer or love the inspiring and achievement word. Hopeful, determination, motivation, trigger, milestone. What else?
They are like your keywords.
Yeah. Empowerment, solidarity.
Right.
Yeah.
When did you first realize that you had a talent for picking up English?
I don't think I've ever realized that. But, I studied in the University of Aleppo and we were friends and colleagues. So we both saw, many of us, being the product of public school where we have just few sessions of English, attending in a class of 30 people without getting enough focus.
Sometimes more than 30. Yeah.
No conversation. I remember a very funny story. I remember that my family wanted to, just give me extra sessions in English. So they enrolled me in an English language institute, and they were testing me. A guy, presumably a teacher, was the theory. So he asked me to read something, and there was the word conversation. So I read it as conversation. And he said, no, it's a conversation. Your level is not up to the expectations. It was wrong. Because
you were the correct.
But I was a child. Yeah, exactly. So I was a child. I mean, you can say, I know that now. I know we can say both, but I was not incorrect. But anyway, so I think I saw many of my colleagues going through, starting with very basic English in year 1 when we were colleagues in university, to being masters, literally. Mastering accent, mastering grammar, being perfect professors. Now I see their language, they're mastering British accent or American, whatever. I see many of them are now professors in very prestigious universities having very high level projections overall around the world. And we all know that we came from public schools with very limited exposure to English.
Regarding that, the challenges that faced you through your journey of learning English. What were the challenges? You mentioned the public school one. What other challenge you might mention?
I think being able to practice, because when you listen on or read or whatever, you need someone to practice with. Exactly. And it's not easy. People would shy away because we don't want to make mistakes, right? Exactly. Everyone wants to be perfect. And I remember, like, of course, as teenagers, people, make fun of each other. So
you do.
I remember that one.
Unfortunately.
Yes, exactly. But it's totally fine. I remember once I read the word password as password to someone who made me the joke of the day.
At what age?
I was, I think, a teenager, like middle school age. And she made everyone laugh at me saying, listen to what Basma said. It wasn't a great thing, but she was also a teenager, so I'm not judging anyone here. But what I want to say is that do not feel shy. Don't feel discouraged if someone makes fun or if someone gave you some feedback or some negative comments. That's totally natural. We all face these things every day, and this is like a culture.
Yeah.
So you just need to learn. Just take what you need from this incident or just,
journey.
Yes, exactly. And just learn how to say it, improve yourself, and go on.
I want to ask you, Basma, as an Arab, how would you articulate or describe your unique experience of learning English?
I think it's very normal. Not very unique. Anyway, I think
maybe it's unique because it's not your mother tongue.
Yeah.
Native speech.
I mean, I think it's a recipe of many things. So I would say reading is very important. It will enrich your,
skills, maybe, the skills.
Exactly. And the word bank in your mind, I don't know. I remember there was a term for that. Anyway, my professor was just wanting happy me forgetting it. Anyway,
you're doing great job.
So this is one thing. The other thing, listening to music or watching movies or TV shows. I think it's great. And great if you're looking for entertainment, because we are not always in the mood of
learning, direct learning. So you're combining entertaining with or fun with.
Exactly. So you need both, and then you need to practice. So try to practice with yourself. Try to talk to the mirror if you can. I think it's a package. So you need to also make sure that you write well, and that's why reading is very important. And you need patience, because I think nowadays, because of this fast age, you're expecting yourself to be great like next week, and this won't happen. You need to practice a little every day and break down your thoughts. Tap yourself on the shoulder when you reach an achievement.
When you're down.
Yes, exactly. Like give yourself some reward or some treat. Maybe it's a cup of coffee. It doesn't have to be something very fancy. But when you're tired and you're not in the mood of reading news or listening to news, maybe you can just watch an episode of Friends.
Yeah, but to listen to our podcast.
Exactly. The thing is, like, in a nutshell, I don't think there's one way to learn. And you will have your own way, because you have your own lifestyle, your own thoughts and priorities throughout the day, and your own weaknesses and strengths. So
it depends upon person.
But please do not give up.
The last question, what was the time frame for your learning to English proficiency? How long did it take you to excel at English? Because this is very important. But some of my students ask me, am I going to be good like in 6 months or 1 year? So I tell them it depends on many factors. So what would you say? What about your own experience? How long did it take you?
I think that's a very good question, and it needs, I think, an expert answer. Because we hear a lot of studies nowadays. I heard a study that said if you invest in something like a hobby or a language, more than 200 hours
per year?
Total. So if you can combine but I'm not sure. So it's good to check. You would be able to master it, whether it was like a hobby, music instrument practicing, or a language. I heard something about 24 hours. If you invest 24 hours in something, you will be better than the majority of people handling this skill. So I would suggest maybe take a look at, I know there are many studies, and then you can produce your own Excel sheet, a table, and estimate how many hours do you dedicate a month, a week, a day. Like you can estimate roughly that, for example, I invested, 50 hours last year in English. But now I need 107, for example, to master it. So I'll start counting. Yeah. And test it. Maybe it's right. Maybe it's not better or not smarty. But yeah, I think there's a number of hours that you need to fulfill in order to be able to master. And then I don't think there's a level where we can say you excel because I think it's a lifelong journey. It's a process. You need to keep practicing. You need to keep correcting yourself, learn something new. That's why I mean, if you ask me where I learn new things, it's reading, number one. Because with entertainment, I'm sure you learn a lot about, local language and daily conversations, but it's the word set is very nice, right?
Yeah, while reading is much more productive.
Exactly. If you want to go to deep conversation, you need to read.
Right. Great advice. Okay, Basma, I want to thank you so much for sharing your experience with us. It's amazing. Thank you, and we wish you all the best luck.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.